Now, I think I told you at the beginning of this little Portugal series that this trip was kind of the last hurrah before getting started with fertility treatment again. There has been so much that has happened that I haven't shared with you on TikTok yet, and I basically needed a long time to recover, and mentally I just was not doing well. And so after my trip to Canada, both of my trips to Canada, Paul and I planned this trip to Portugal, and this particular day we went out into the Douro Valley, and it was like a historical tour slash wine tour. And the first village that we stopped in was a village called Amaranta, I believe, and they had a fertility saint there, which I'll tell you all about in another TikTok. But the legend has it that the people of this village were struggling with fertility, and this saint helped them. And so our tour guide, who was amazing, he said, okay, you need to go into this church and you need to go walk around the tomb 3 times and then go and hold the saint's hand and ask him for, what it is that you're wanting. And in our case, it's a baby. Now, I have to tell you, there were so many other weird things that happened on this trip, and Paul and I aren't the type of people that just find signs to self-soothe ourselves with. I mean, we want to have hope, and we want to hang on to something that gives us the hope that we will get pregnant one day and everything will work out in the end. But if I'm honest, we haven't really had any signs until this trip. And it's something that I felt a little bit silly talking about at first, because I do think it's one of those stories where it just kind of felt like you had to be there. But I don't know, maybe I'll share it at some point, because honestly, it was like the wildest story that you just really couldn't ignore. But here's our trip to the Douro Valley.